All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, and got an announcement. Yes, you have an announcement. This Saturday, which is going to be January the 23rd at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be hosting our next KidVest webinar. And what is KidVest? Well, KidVest is where I take the opportunity to teach children about money. That's right, teach them about money. And so this Saturday, January 23rd at 10 a.m. Eastern, is going to be a free, that's right, free online webinar. This is actually going to be the last time probably the last time I do a free webinar, because I believe that as I'm teaching them about money, they have to understand that you trade value for value. So I'm giving them value, which is teaching them, and they should exchange some value, which is what they're going to exchange, or their parents are going to exchange for them to actually join the webinar. So this Saturday is going to be a free webinar to teach the kids about money. So I decided what I was going to teach them about, because I had a lot of things, a lot of topics that came up. So what I decided to teach them about this time is going to be on the three types of income, three different types of income. And I'm saying to myself, here's how I come up with some of my topics. I say to myself, what is something that I wish that I would have learned when I was 10 years old? What is something I wish that someone would have taught me about money when I was 10 years old? So as I think about these things, I'd be like, man, this is something that, man, if I'd have known that there were different ways to make money other than just getting a job, I might have explored some of those ideas. So what I'm going to do is this Saturday is going to be a free webinar where we teach kids about money. When I say kids, it's any kid. Now, typically when I teach kids, or when I do my live presentations, I typically find that I get about 5% participation from the African-American community. Why that is, I don't know. I can come up with a lot of reasons, but I think that we just haven't made financial literacy important. But I think that maybe them seeing an African-American teaching a class, it might actually bring more African-Americans, kind of like Tiger Woods and Serena Williams. Maybe I'm the, Black Dave Ramsey or something like that. So I'm going to teach this Saturday, and it's for all kids. I don't care whether you're black, white, green, or whatever, because guess what? Money is green, and it doesn't care about your color. Once you begin to understand it, then you can apply the principles to your life in order to live a more abundant life, a more prosperous life, not by wishing and praying. That's not solely by wishing and praying, but also by execution, by knowing what to do with what comes into your hand. So I'm going to teach on the three different types of income as is stated by the IRS. Now, we can call it all these different things, but I'm going strictly from what the IRS says, which the Internal Revenue System says about income. Why? Well, because the first part of the process is to teach them about this income. And in the second part of the process, to teach them why there are differences, because there are different tax implications on how you actually generate your income. I don't have time to teach them the tax stuff on the first part. I want to introduce them first, and then I'll teach them about the tax part second, because there's a whole nother teaching. I got to teach them about taxes, which guess what? Most adults don't know. So basically what I do as a certified financial educator, my target is children. And so I want to teach them everything that they need to know about money so that they are fully aware of what to do with money and how to operate, how to manage it before they get their first job. Because guess what happens? When I got my first job, the first thing I walked into was this thing called an I-9, which I actually absolutely had no idea what to do with. And then many of the people, many of my, my elders didn't know what to do with it either. It's like, how you ask somebody something, they give you an answer, but they're not confident in the answer they give you. Well, that's some of the answers that I got from my parents. So it's like, well, we want to make sure that when they start working and when they start to deal with this major piece of the life puzzle, which is money, that they're equipped and they're knowledgeable and confident in their knowledge of what to do with what comes in their hands. So this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time is going to be a free webinar, and I'm going to teach the children about the three different types of money. It's called Not All Income is Created Equal. Now, here's why I'm doing this blab, because this more than likely is going to be the last time that I do a free webinar. Why? Well, because I'm teaching the kids about money, right? And money is the exchange of value for value. So if I'm teaching them, I'm giving them value, then there should be some value that they give back in return. Now, the value that I've been receiving obviously is feedback. It's invitations for other people to come and join the webinars and things like that. But now it's getting to the point where I actually need to charge so that, because I believe that you value what you pay for, right? it's great to get the information. It's great to go to the teachings. It's great to be in to show up. But when you actually put some money on the line, you actually start to get way more out of it because you value what you pay for. That's just, the way that the world is. Most of the world, everyone isn't the same. So that's why we're doing this Saturday. It's free. And actually it's not, I would say that this particular webinar, pretty much all the webinars that I do, is not just for children. It's just that I target children, but I believe that there are many parents that don't even know the information that I'll be sharing as well. So it's open for the parents and the kids to show up, to come, so that you can be exposed to what your children are learning, and you can be confident in having a conversation with your children as well. Because I don't think it's anything more embarrassing. I don't have any children, but I can imagine if I did have a son and he came to me, he was like, "Hey, Dad, let's talk about passive income or residual income." And I don't know all of the things that he just learned, and I'm just kind of, shooting at the wind. That's not a good look to be a dad and not really be knowledgeable in this area that, my 10-year-old son is learning. So it's going to be an opportunity for not only the kids, but I think also for the adults, because what I'm teaching the kids is something that many adults don't know. And when I say they don't know, they may have some inkling of it. They may have an idea. They may have heard it before, but they haven't been immersed in different ways that you can generate income. Because if they had, then more than likely they will be exploring different ways that they can generate income. And so for the people that are not exploring different ways to generate income, then that would tell me that they probably aren't educated in the different ways that you can generate income. So think about it for yourself and say, man, how powerful would it be if I knew of all the different ways or many different ways that I could generate income, and how that impacts how much I actually keep of the ways of the income that I generate, because there is an impact. Like the way in which you generate your income has an impact on how much of that money you actually get to keep. Most people don't really recognize that or understand that. And so that's going to be the 2-part session for KidVest, which is teaching kids about money. And this first section is going to be the first module, or the first part is going to be understanding different ways to generate income. Then the second part is going to be the implications, or how you can actually keep more of the income that you earn. And that's going to be simply by understanding how it all works. So that's what it's about, guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited because I really get inspired to teach kids. It's just something I love to do. And again, I always think about, man, what are the things that I wish I would have learned? And so in case you're wondering, like, okay, well, what have I taught them before? Well, one of the first sessions that I did with the kids, where I taught them about compound interest and the rule of 72, how they could double their money, how long it would take for them to double their money, how to get their money working for them. I introduced them to Albert Einstein and Warren Buffett, all these great, mathematicians and wealthy people. Last time I met with the kids, I talked to them about what to do with $1. I gave them a youth financial plan, what to do with every dollar that comes into their hand. Because if you know what to do with the first dollar, then you can know what to do with the hundreds of millions of dollars that come into your hand, no matter how, successful or how wealthy you become. Because I don't necessarily attribute wealth to success. I actually have, thanks for reaching out, Miss Female Exec Mag. Let me make sure I follow you here. You're following me. So we definitely can talk. I do actually, the things that I do is turned into curriculum. So I have different modules that I can turn into curriculum. So we can definitely discuss that, how to turn into curriculum. What I found in doing this is that when I already have curriculum, so it's not that I have to turn anything into curriculum. We can definitely turn the curriculum into columns if as far as writing for the magazine or something like that. I love to share some of my thoughts. But what I found is in teaching the curriculum, I thought about doing it all like internet based and doing it all like you go and you self-teach yourself, right? Which is what a lot of the world is going to, you do a Udemy or something like that. What are y'all talking about? Uh-oh. We just made some new connections. That's what I'm talking about. I love networking. So Miss Female Exec Mag, can you tell me what your name is? Maybe let me click on your little Twitter thing here. I see your website. I'm recording. Let me finish my recording first. Althea Lepford, fantastic. So this I'm just pulling up your website, but yes. So I have real. What was I saying? So when I teach kids, I realize that you can't replace the human element. I'm gonna repeat that again. You can't replace the human element. There's something about having a live instructor, having someone that can call you by name and keep your attention, that can actually interact with you while you teach and while you disseminate information that can't be replaced. We can't replace that with a robot. We can't replace energy, the passion of a human being. So although I thought about, well, hey, I can make more money quite possibly by putting my curriculum out online for people to self-study, I think that's going to be more for the adults. But with the kids, I really want to have the interaction to make sure that they get it. So I'm willing to spend the time, and I'm also willing to develop other instructors to become, to be in that place where they can actually facilitate the curriculum as well. So my whole goal at the end of the day is to build a school of wealth where we actually teach financial literacy, and that school will be both a brick and mortar and also an online school. More so online, because I'm more into the online space. I do a whole bunch of online stuff because I know that I can reach people all over the world with just a click. We can actually come and have things like this. We have talks like this, and people can ask questions. People may have situations that they want to talk about and get through. And then also, doing the online, webinars, people don't have to get out of their bed to go anywhere. They can just pop on 10 o'clock in the morning and let's have a good time. Also, what I do is I make sure that there's an element of entertainment in all that I teach. Hey, Cameron, thanks for joining. I know you tried to jump into a seat. I'll let you in just a second. I found that the biggest enemy to education was entertainment. And for a while, I was trying to fight that enemy, trying to get people to stop entertaining themselves. But now I said, well, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. So now I use entertainment intertwined with the education so that it sticks a little bit more. People remember jingles a lot more than they remember words. So if we can find a way to entertain and educate at the same time, I think we can capture more of the kids and the students' attention, and they'll be willing to come back because they had a good time, as well as they learned something new. I don't think there's anything better. When I was a kid, I can't remember anything better than having a good time and learning something new at the same time. Can you remember a time when you actually learned something new and you had a good time? Whether that was you went painting, you did face paint, maybe you went zip lining, maybe you went to the mountains, maybe whatever it is that you did, it was something new. You learned something new and you had a good time. Horseback riding. So that's what I try to incorporate in all that I do. I want to make sure that you have a good time and you learn something new. And then I hopefully by that equation of having some element of joy along with what you do, then the information will stick. And they say, train a child in the way in which he shall go and she'll never depart from it. And that's just basically what I try to incorporate in my teaching style, and while I disseminate information to the kids. So I've been getting great feedback. I'd love for you guys to join, even if you don't have any kids, or I'd also love for you to share with kids that you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be your kids, any kids, because every child, I don't want any child to be left behind. So regardless of whether they're your children or not, if you feel like financial literacy is important for children to learn, then please have them sign up, attend. And it's not just for kids, it's for kids and adults. But I found that if you target the kids, then the adults will come. But if you target the adults, then no one will show. So I just target the children. That's just my passion. So that's what we're going to be doing this Saturday, January 23rd, 10 a.m. KidVest, teaching kids about money. We're going to be talking about not all income is created equal, and we're going to be going through the 3 different types of income, which is basically income. What is income? Income is the way that you generate money, the way that you earn money. So we're going to be talking about that and a few examples. It's going to be real cool. I think you're going to be really, really enjoy our time together. We normally only are together for about an hour, just an hour of your time, hour of your day. But this is a way that you develop yourself by doing something outside of what public school education is going to teach you, and you decide to teach yourself some things that you'll learn. And learning about money management is a basic life skill. And I believe it's a major piece to the life puzzle. So why not start to understand how to deal with money? So that's what's going on. Hopefully you'll join me this Saturday, 23rd.